you tired of the gurus telling you you need secret vendor lists and thousands of dollars to actually start reselling? In this video, I'm going to show you guys how to actually start reselling the honest way when it comes to realistic profit, realistic cost of goods for products, and also how much money you actually need to start with, and of course where you can get products from. But I'm going to give you guys the uncut, raw, honest truth, no fluff, and of course no vendor lists, and no fake suppliers. And also, I'm not recommending anything I haven't tried or done before. So first, right, you're going to want to save this video, of course, because I'm going to be going over a bunch of information. Now, if you don't know, I am somebody that has been reselling for over a decade, and I continue to do this till this day. This is not a hobby side hustle. This is my life. This is not something that has been a side hustle for me. To be honest, I resell more than I actually benefit off of YouTube. So being a reseller is actually very important to me, and I'm going to give you guys the in-depth knowledge that I know. But first, let's break some myths, right? So when it comes to reselling, I think one of the biggest myths that I have is that people need vendor lists. So I've made a video on this before, but vendor lists are not helpful. The reason they're not helpful is because half of the time when you are actually getting vendor lists from people, they're not actually vendor lists that the people that sold it to you actually use. So what I'm saying is basically you're buying a vendor list of vendors that have not been used from the person selling it to you, which makes it irrelevant, because the point of a vendor list is, hey, here's my vendors that I work with on a daily basis. Now they're yours. But let me ask you something. Do you think that, let's just say Walmart, Target, Home Depot, anywhere would give you their vendor list? Like, let's hypothetically say we go into Walmart and we find the Walmart CEO in the clothing section looking for some sweaters, right? And we walk up to him, we say, hey, is there a possibility you can give me the vendor link or your vendor list for the eggs and milk? Do you think that he would say, yeah, of course, I'll give you the vendor list. All you have to do is buy it from me. No, he wouldn't, because see, that one price that you buy that vendor list for, he could make over and over again from you just buying it from him. The milk and the eggs, right? So understand, vendor lists are just a gimmick, and they're usually something for content creators and influencers to use to hang over your head for a freebie, which is a product that they're going to give you for free so that they can get you for their email list, or they do this for Instagram, TikTok, just to get engagement, get somebody to buy into their value proposition, and in return, of course, get that vendor list where they're probably composing suppliers from Alibaba, AliExpress, and DHgate, right? The suppliers they don't even use in the first place. Because let's be real, who wants to give away their vendors when they could sell the products from their vendors to the consumers directly? Does that make sense? All right, so now we got that myth out the way. Another thing I want to talk about is how much you need to get started. Now, in this video, we're going to talk about a bunch of different ways you can actually resell. Now, could you resell for $0? Yes. Could you drop ship? Yes. Now, I'm about to contradict everything I just said in the same exact video clip. No, you cannot properly resell for $0. No, you cannot properly drop ship for $0. See, here's the difference. Can you do it? Should you do it? It's two different things, okay? Can you do it? Absolutely. Should you do it? Absolutely not. When you are looking to start reselling, you want to start with some skin in the game. Why? Because see, the only way you're going to gain respect and authority and of course value is by having some first. Now, I know that may sound a little interesting, cringy, or maybe just not even comprehensive, but I'm saying that if you want to be able to start a business, you have to have something for people to come to, tangible, right? So if I go and open up a store and I don't have any products in there, who's going to come in? No one, right? Exactly. So yes, I could open a store. I could say, hey, we're open for business, but not have anything in it, which would in return make me no money, which in return makes it not even feasible, which in return will basically make it close down within a month or two, right? So again, You can start with $0. You should not. You need to have some skin in the game. It makes you work harder. It makes you work smarter. And it also always benefits you in the end. Now, when it comes to the real startup costs that I recommend, I would say anybody that is looking to start reselling, you definitely want to start with at least $250 to $300, right? So I say this because if you are looking to buy products, one, you need to get more than one, and you need to get an assortment because you need to find what works for you. Now, what I saw with a bunch of students is that students like to try and sell what other people are selling. So let's hypothetically say you go on to YouTube and you look up how to start reselling, and you come across my video selling AirPod replicas, right? So let's say I'm selling AirPod reps and they're flying off the shelf for me, and I'm showing you proof and I'm showing you everything on the internet. Great, but how will you make that work for you? Maybe I had momentum and maybe I started selling when it was hot, fresh off the press. And then you start selling years later and nobody's buying. Not because it's not in demand, but because you're just not seen. The reason you're not seen is because you are trying to sell a product that has already took off. And see, this is where a lot of people get backtracked and also discouraged and end up quitting, because you're selling a product that isn't for you. That's why I say you want to have at least $300 or $250 to start buying a wide assortment of products that you can actually test. Now, me speaking of that, I do have to, of course, because you know I'm Educated Hustler, to plug myself in. We have a resellers kit on wesply.com. If you don't know what that is, that's my wholesale website. Now, wesply.com is my website where I am pushing out trending products to resellers like you and I, beginners, intermediate sellers, and of course advanced sellers. And you don't need any LLC, resellers permit, or any type of business to buy wholesale from us. Also, not to mention that you are literally able to get these products within 2 days, and everything is shipping in the States. So in the United States of America, there's no drop shipping involved with this website. Now, as a reseller, that is important because you want to make sure that you're getting the products, and you also want to make sure you're getting trending products. We have a product kit where we give you 30 products for $250. Now, this is going to give you a benefit because you're getting 30 trending products in one box for you to start your store, see what products are selling for you, see what products are scaling for you on what platforms. You could do eBay, Mercari, Amazon, Walmart, Facebook. You can list on all of those platforms and see what products are actually selling for you, and then you win. Because again, it's all about testing what products actually sell for you. And this is one of the biggest things I see people slip on, is they try to drop ship, or they try to go ahead and sell that one item you see people selling online, and it just becomes confusing because you're like, why am I not getting the result? And again, the reason is because you're not me and I'm not you, or you're not him and he's not you, or you're not that guy over there. You are you, and you have to find out how to build your foundation organically, and you need assets to do it. Now, I will be very disgenuine if I did not mention something though before I get off of this topic, which is yes, you can dropship. And this is coming from somebody that is very upfront about my opinion on dropshipping, and the way that YouTube creators, and I would say regular creators in general, matter of fact, push it out as you just need to download an extension on your Google Chrome browser and just find products that they recommend you to buy. All right, so now I wanted to go onto the computer because I wanted to actually talk to you guys about profit, right? And also about pricing. So we're going to look first, you know what I mean? I got to put you guys on. You got the Reseller Starter Kit. This is wesply.com. This is my website. My wholesale company is We Supply, which stands for, that's why it says wesply.com. I didn't want to make it too long, but nevertheless, I'll save those stories for later. We have a Resellers Kit, right? This Resellers Kit offers you 30 trending products for $250 and 50 trending products for $320. Now, guys, you can easily get these kits. They ship within 2 days, and you're up and running, ready to start reselling. But what I want to do is I don't want to talk about that right now. I want to talk about, why is this? Oh, I'm tripping. Okay, I want to talk about profit margin. Because, see, I don't see a lot of people talking about profit margin. Why? I don't know, right? And I'm going to use a lot of people's favorite website, AliExpress, okay? We're going to use this, all right? So, AliExpress is here. We need to find out, how do we actually price products? So, let's say you're just looking to start to learn how you need to actually price in order to make profit. I didn't know this when I first had my first phone store, and that's why I failed, because I didn't know this. I didn't have anybody that actually taught me. I learned a lot off the fly, right? So let's just go to electronics. I don't really use this bum behind website, but we're just on here because I'm sure a lot of people do. Let's do smartwatches, right? So, worst thing to resell, by the way, smartwatches. Okay, just saying. All right, let's look at, now, if you guys haven't saw the dark psychology and reselling video, make sure you guys do, because this is like really triggering right now. But let's just do this one, right? We see a 2025 T900 Ultra 2 smartwatch, right? They're saying that it's $5.76. All right. What I like to do is I like to go over to my profit margin calculator, okay? And I like to make sure that I am pricing my products not only so I can make money, but so that I can buy another product. Now, you remember when I told you when I first started my first store, I didn't have anybody teaching me? Well, I didn't. I had a bunch of yes men around me, and I had a bunch of people that were doing whatever I wanted. And I think a lot of that had to do with us all being ignorant, right? So me and my friends would try to price the products based upon what we thought they were worth, but it's like they weren't, okay? They weren't, okay? We were all blind. But what you need to do is, when you sell a product, you should be getting enough money to replenish that product back in stock, but also get profit. So that means if you are going to buy a product for $5.76, right? It actually means that you should be able to get $5.76 again, okay? So that means $11.52 needs to go back into the product, okay? That got to go back into your change fund. Now, you're going to hear me say change fund a few times. And change fund is what I refer to as your store money, right? So that's your investment fund. Think about like a cashier, right? When they have those tills, so those little black things where you got the quarters and the dollars, that is a till, right? Now, that till has money from a change fund, usually in a safe, in the back of Walmart or Target or wherever they put their money. They usually have a bunch of money, and they put $150 in that till every day. Okay, now they put that money in that till, and then they open a register, customers buy things, and now at the end of the day, that cashier has to take out all of the money except for the $150 they initially started with, because all of the money that they have received from customers is now going to be divvied up as profit / reinvestment money and put into the change fund. Might be confusing. I understand. I digress. We'll just continue to go, and you'll understand it shortly. So we got to make sure we can replenish the product that we just brought. Plus, we want to make profit. So what I like to do is I'll be like, okay, You know what I mean? $5.76 is how much this watch is gonna cost me. So what I'm finna do is I'm going to times that by 2. I know my lowest price point is going to be $11.52, but that will be me not getting any profit. So what profit do I want, right? So I'll start thinking to myself, okay, and this is a true situation, right? So let's remember $11.52. So let's say I got a store and that store costs me $900 a month, right? And then let's say I divide that by 30, right? Typical days in a month. That means that I need to make $30 a day. So what I would do is I would go $11.52 and I would say, okay, that's $11.52 times that, minus that by 30. So I know $18.48 is what I'm missing out of me being able to make rent. So what I would do, right, and I'm just giving you guys what I would do, right, what my perspective is I would say, okay, what is $11? Oh man, I shouldn't have did that. Okay, what is what's $12? We're gonna start rounding. What's $12 plus 19? So that's $31. So I would charge people $31 for this watch. Now, here's the thing. This is all a guesstimate, right? This is all me in my head saying this is what I want, which means I want, of course, I think that was the, so I want $19 profit. So $19.25 profit. So with me knowing that, I would go here and I would erase this profit margin. And then I would put $19.25. That means that for the cost of this watch, okay, I have it at a 70% profit margin, which would then grant me my revenue at $19.25. My initial profit, though, would be $13.49 with the cost taken out already. So this is good for you to put on a spreadsheet when you are listing products on eBay or on Facebook or Mercari, because it lets you know, all right, don't go below $19.25. Because now, not only with that $13.50 or not $13.49 are you able to have profit, but now you know if I sell 30 of these or if I sell a certain amount, I'll be able to make up for rent. So, and I also can replenish it. So when I sell one, I can put one back on the shelf. So it's an easier way for you to stay aware of how to stay afloat and always have money coming in. Now, if you want to break this down even further, when you look at your revenue, the best way to do it is we see that we're making $13.49, right? The best way to actually utilize this is doing this. $13.49, divide that by 2. The reason you divide it by 2 is because $6.74 should go into your business bank account, and then $6.74 should go into your personal. So if you wanted to pay yourself commission, you could pay yourself commission by saying, I'm going to pay myself half of whatever my initial profit is, or my profit is after expense. And that is how you pay yourself. So as somebody just starting out, no accountant, this is the way that you will want to actually manipulate your business so that you stay on top of your funds and don't go broke. I'm going to just say it. I haven't really saw somebody go into detail on that. And I think that that is something a lot of resellers should know how to do. Because again, I didn't know how to do it and it hurt me a lot. Okay? It hurt me a lot not knowing that. Like, that is very important to know. Okay? Now, let's go and let's talk about vendors. And let's just say you are using this website. It's very easy. Okay? We have audio, chargers, gadgets, sex accessories. We have seasonal gadgets. We got the Labubu dolls. We got hand sanitizer. We got so many different things, but I only list on here what is trending. I don't list products that aren't trending. So you'll see products that are trending only. I don't want to become an AliExpress or an Alibaba with a bunch of different generic products. I want my products to actually mean something. But if you are somebody that is just selling on AliExpress, right? Or you're getting products from AliExpress, right? If you're looking and you're trying to find vendors, I just want to give you guys a few tips. Something like this is absolutely not true. They're saying you can get a 3-in-1 foldable wireless charging fast charging station for iPhone 15, 14, 13 holder, magnetic charging stand dock for Apple Watch S8/7 for 99 cents. Okay? It is now July 27th. They said it's going to get here August 11th to the 14th, right? Let's say I wanted to buy one. Okay? If I wanted to buy one, hold on, y'all. Let me do this real quick. If I wanted to buy one, I gotta sign up. Then I would need to buy it, pay the shipping, and hopefully it gets here on time, right? I think my true issue with AliExpress and all of these companies is, and I want you guys to know this, you honestly get what you pay for. Now, I don't know if you guys understand the tariff situation, and I don't know if you guys understand that there's a bunch of things going on within the ecosystem with electronics, but these prices, you don't want anything that is too good to be true. Try to stick with things that you know for a fact, okay, this is a appropriate amount, right? Like these cases, these are appropriate amount. This is wholesale pricing, but anything for like 99 cents, that this is not appropriate. And I say this because while yes, you may get the case, but one, you can't sell this on eBay, you can't sell this on Mercari because it has the Apple logo. And I know you might be like, well, yeah, I can sell it. All right, so let's just say you want to go against the grain and you want to sell. Cool. Let me show you guys how to look and see if a distributor is legitimate. So I've never clicked on this before, but I see reviews, right? Now, a lot of reviews on AliExpress are fake, 100%. But what I try to do is I look at the worst ones first, right? So disappointing. And you know how Amazon, if you go on Amazon, you look at disappointing, there's people talking. There's people explaining why it's disappointing. But when I look at disappointing, there's 3 listings and they're all 5 stars. And they just say, okay. Look, unimpressed. Let's see. They are cute and arrived earlier. Beautiful case. Nothing to complain about. So, do you guys see how all of these ratings are good? There's no bad rating. That's a problem. It doesn't seem genuine. And so I personally, seeing 5,000 sold, but only having 186 ratings is an issue. That's an issue, right? That's an issue because it doesn't make sense. And we have to, especially when we're dealing with our business, we got to make it make sense. We have to. So what I like to do is I just like to look for genuine ratings on their stores. And if I don't find any, I just don't buy. Like this is crazy, right? So let's see about these reviews. 2,000 sold. And see, this is where I know this is actually a real listing because it doesn't have any features like noise cancellation and does not connect when opening the case. While that is a negative, okay, that's okay, right? Because everybody's not now this is a lot. It's authentic. At least it feels like, sounds like, and works like 100. But now that checking the battery, one bud is not charging. So these headphones actually come with the design by Apple, I guess, on the back. It's crazy. But at least we know this is real, right? Shockingly disappointing. Okay. And you see there's some 1-star, 3-star. But again, I would probably still test these out if I was buying reps and was not that smart in reselling. I would do that. Because while yes, they have bad reviews, they also have good ones, and it does not seem like they're lying. 1204. That's an interesting price point. But we could try it out. Now they are saying it is a long time, okay? Because they're saying August 3rd to 14th. Damn, that's 2 weeks. I doubt that that's realistic. No, 1, 2, that's 3 weeks. I doubt that's realistic, but again, that's cool. Make sure that you always read the return policy, and you're good. I would buy it, but that's those like the things I would look for when actually trying to buy from certain distributors, to make sure that like I'm not getting banned, okay, or I'm not. No, I'm sorry, not getting banned, but to make sure I'm not getting scammed, not banned. All right. Now, what I do want to talk about lastly is, let's say you want to actually go and you want to list. Okay. So we're talking about listing now. We can go to eBay. Now, let's say we go to eBay and let's say we're trying to list some headphones. Okay. Now, everybody and their mama knows that I am a GOAT, right? You knew I was a GOAT, right? I hope so, right? I'm a GOAT. I'm one of the best at getting unbanned and making sure that I can scale eBays. Hence, I gotta plug myself in. Hustlertaughtme.com is my website where I teach people how to make money as a reseller, but I also give services. So eBay automation is where we list, ship, and provide products for you. And this is a service where you can hire an assistant to actually work for you and build. It starts at $300 and you get a month of someone literally listing products for you. But the reason I bring this up is because what we need to do, and we need to make sure it's happening, is we need to make sure that we are actually selling products genuinely. Now, if you're somebody that has ran across the AirPod clones or the AirPod Gen 2 replicas, then you'll understand what I'm about to say. A lot of people are having issues with products getting taken down. And a lot of people are having those issues because they are sorry guys, because they are selling products and being disgenuine. Okay? What I want to do with you is I actually want to list a product with you live. Okay? And the reason I want to do this live is because I know there's a lot of people that seem to be having issues listing clones or reps. And one, I want to say this. I always would recommend being honest. Okay? Being honest is by far the best way to sell. Now, I don't want to get this one. I'm trying to pull up the account right now, because what we're going to do is we're going to list some, what should we list? How about let's list some let's list some clones, some max clones. We're going to list some clones, because I think what a lot of people do is they try to list products without actually thinking about the repercussions. So they'll try to list a product like AirPods, and they'll try to sell it as regular AirPods instead of just being honest with the customers and letting them know these aren't real AirPods. These are headphones that look like AirPods, okay? And they end up getting banned. How do you actually list the maxes without getting banned? I'm about to show you. Y'all can't tell nobody or put this on the internet. This is just me and you, okay? I'm just showing you. All right, so first thing that we're going to do is we want to make sure that we are sticking with a picture that isn't going to show the Apple logo. So in this example, what we'll sell, and I know I'm not showing you guys nothing yet. Give me 1 second. I'm just making sure I'm not showing people's information and stuff. That's all. Because we have a bunch of clients. I'm not gonna lie. We want to make sure. All right, perfect. Nope. Perfect. That we are going to be able to sell products like this. Okay, if these products sell. Okay, so boom. All right, these are clones. These don't have any logos on them at all. Okay. Now, the reason you will want to sell them is because they look just like the Maxes. These are actually my personal pair. And they look just like the Maxes, work just like the Maxes, connect just like the Maxes. Okay, so that is a benefit. But how do we actually list these? So I use this Max Gray wireless over the air Bluetooth headset. Okay, but I wouldn't sell it as this is definitely somebody that is watching my videos. 100%, bruh. 100%. I'm so proud of you. All right, so we make it new, and then we make sure that we put either our own brand, which I do, because I want my brand to be in the algorithm. But you could put unbranded if you want. You can put model, right? So I'll put hustle. No, because hustle is not a good word in certain terms, I guess. Hus 3000 or whatever, right? 1300. Cool. Oh, I just put my own models, right? Connectivity, Bluetooth. Never choose Lightning with anything. Okay. Then we want to put pictures. So, boom. With pictures, right? We're gonna have to. I gotta figure out how I'm gonna do this because I should have showed you guys. Why is it not popping up? Hold on, let me see. There we go. Nah. Give me a second. Let me find a picture. I want to put a picture of Max's. All right, we'll do it like this. We'll list this. I'm just gonna go to one of my clients' listings real quick, guys. Hold on. Because I know why. All right. Perfect. So we'll go and we'll get these pictures right here. Pictures that look like this. Look. No Apple logo is being shown. Now you see the box. You see what comes in the box. This is my favorite one because that's exactly what you want it to look like, right? You want it to show that it has some headphones on the outside, but you don't want it to actually show you what's inside. You don't want to show the side of the box. We just want to keep everything discreet, right? So then when it comes to pricing, when you first start pricing products, remember, we don't want to make it the highest ticket item, right? We want to make it realistic. So we're going to start out with around $35, okay? And then what we're going to do is we're going to then go put quantity at 5. Now, I want to make this very clear on why I always put my quantity at 5 first. It's because when I am, and we don't want to allow offers, when I'm selling, I like to be metric based, right? And again, we're not going to pay for shipping. The buyer is going to pay for shipping. We don't eat the shipping cost. The buyer does, okay? Since our listing is so cheap, they can pay for the shipping, okay? We should be good to go. Perfect. So now that's listed, right? Now, view listing. Okay, let's view this listing real quick, right? So if we view the listing, we see, right, it's just regular headphones, $35. And we see what the description says, right? Max Space Gray Wireless Over-Ear Headset. This is not the AirPod Maxes. Brand new Bluetooth headphones. Please view all pictures. This is, original packaging with no Apple logo. Now, why do I make this clear and why am I telling them that? Well, I'm telling them that, guys, because I want them to know that we are selling regular headphones. This is not the Maxes. And when I get those messages from sellers or buyers asking me, are these real? Ask me, are these AirPod Maxes? This is what I say. Please inspect what you expect and read the description on my listing, as I want to make sure we are both clear what your expectations are. I don't tell them no, they're real, no, they're not. I don't even answer them directly. I make them go do the research for themselves, because if they ever do complain and try to open up a case with eBay, I then will say, well, I directed you to the description, which lets you know these are not original. And these are not, in fact, AirPod Maxes at all. It just happened that you think they look like them, but they're not them. These are just headphones. So again, great way of listing a product that is a clone. And let's not get clones mistaken for replicas, because they're not replicas. Clones are just headphones that look like the regular headphones, but in reality, they're just headphones. They're not nothing special. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. And if you guys, I do want to make this very clear too. If you guys want to actually work, you want to get products from me, definitely go to wesply.com, guys, and go and get your headphones. So I'll make this very, very quick. If you want to get headphones, prime example, like the clones I just shown you, you can go to wesply.com. This is available for all of you guys. Make sure you create an account though, so that you could, be up to date with all orders. But go to audio, you have the AirPod Max clones right here, and then you have the AirPod Gen 2 clones right here. Okay, now it says $75 up front, but that's not how much they cost when you buy wholesale. Okay, when you buy wholesale, it should pan out so you can get 12 for $319.12, which if you divide that, that's going to be $26.59. Okay, and for these, the Gen 2s, it may say $28 up front, but if you get 12, let's hypothetically say 12 for $168 is insane. That's $14 each, and that's 2-day shipping. That's tough. That's tough. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys so much, and I will see you guys in the next video. If you guys have not learned anything from this tutorial or resellers guide, man, I don't know what I didn't do right, but comment it below so I can answer the question. If you guys don't know, every Saturday night, I'm answering questions live. The questions that you put in the comments, I'll be answering. And if you guys need any help, never hesitate to join the community. The reseller community link is below. It's only $10 a month, and it gives you direct access to me and free calls. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.